All right, everybody, we are back again. This is part 2 of Sex and the City, the review, okay, for season 4, episode 6, okay? Now, the title of this episode is Baby Talk is Cheap. Baby Talk is Cheap, okay? This is part 2, all right? So, let's continue where we left off, all right? So, we left off with Charlotte. She was fucking Trey, okay? And while she was having sex with him, she's like, I invited Trish and her family over to dinner this Saturday, and Trey's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's fine, it's a dramedy, what the hell, okay? That's what this is, okay? I give you a straight man's point of view here, okay? I don't bullshit here. If you're easily offended, if you're easily triggered, get the fuck out, okay? I'm gonna give you the honest to God truth of what I think about this show, what I think about the girls on the show, and the guys on the show too. That's basically what I'm here, is to judge the guys that are on this show, okay? I give you a straight man's point of view, okay? Which is a point of view that this show did not give you. Okay, this show is written by gay guys, feminists, and lesbians, okay? So, of course, the straight guy ended up being the joke of every episode, and there's no difference in this episode, okay? The guys are always the suckers on this show. Okay, so here we are. So to set the scene, like I said, Charlotte's fucking Miranda, Charlotte's fucking Trey, because her and Trey decided they're gonna have a baby, all right? They got back together, they separated last season, now they're back together, now they're fucking all the time, and they wanna have a baby, okay? Meanwhile, Carrie's still trying to reconnect with Aiden, her ex-boyfriend that she cheated on. All right, she saw him the other day, so she sent him an email. She's not heard from him, so now she's afraid that he's going to blow her off. She's still in love with him. Bullshit, she's still in love with him. But she thinks she is, and she really, really, really wants him back. She can't stop thinking about him, okay? Meanwhile, Miranda just met some guy that's training for the marathon like she is, okay? So that's her marathon training partner. And Samantha's dating some guy that likes to speak to her in a baby language. Okay, like, hey, would you want to feel my finger? That kind of shit. It's turning her off, so she complains about it to her girlfriends. Okay, so here we are. Okay, so Carrie is still upset that Aiden has not responded to the email. She wrote this big, long email about how she misses him, and then she deleted it and just sent him a message saying, I miss you. And that was it. She has not heard back from him. It's driving her crazy. She's getting frustrated and impatient. Okay. The thought that, that he doesn't want to talk to her is because she fucking cheated on him when they were together. Okay. That thought never crossed her mind. Okay. Not really. She didn't give it much thought. All right. About that. Okay. She just can't understand why he doesn't respond to her email. She said she missed him. Okay. So why? How the fuck hasn't he fucking responded back? What the hell is his problem? See, that's his problem is you, Carrie. His problem is you, okay? So she can't wait anymore, okay? The whole thought, she said in her original letter, if you don't contact me, I understand. Bull fucking shit. I already took that letter apart last episode, okay? Last review here that I just did in part 1, okay? That letter she wrote is fucking bullshit. She just wants somebody to control, okay? Here he is not responding to her, and here she is not understanding, okay? She's trying to get a hold of him. She's going to call him some more because she's been crank calling him. She's been calling him and hanging up, all right? So she's going to call him again. All right, because he has not responded to her email. Okay, so she calls him because she's frustrated. That gets us to the thesis of this episode, which is, in matters of love, do actions speak louder than words? Well, that's what I said last episode. That's what I said in my last review. Okay, yes. Okay, do not ever take everything that a person says as their word, okay? If you really want to understand somebody, if you really want to know what people are like, what they're really thinking, okay, do not pay attention to what they say. Pay attention to what they do. That will tell you everything you fucking want to know. Look at their behavior. When I was in college, I studied behavioral science, okay? That's like the FBI profiling shit, okay? And what they do in behavioral science is the exact opposite of psychology. In psychology, okay, what they do is they try to figure out how you think so that they can determine and predict what you're gonna do. That's psychology. Behavioral science is the opposite, okay? They learn what you think. They learn about what kind of person you are based on what you do, based on your behavior. They study your behavior, and that determines the type of person you are, okay? And that's the way to go, honestly, okay? If you really want to understand somebody, okay, look at what they do. Do not pay attention to what they say. Okay, what we got here is a case of show and tell. Okay, Carrie is saying everything. She's telling everything. She's showing nothing. Okay, all she's really showing is that she really wants him back. That's all she's showing here. Okay, nothing else is being considered. His feelings are not being considered here at all. Okay, the only feelings being considered here are Carrie's. She's considering her own feelings, and that's it. All right? Yeah, Carrie's the bad guy. All right. So she calls him and he answers the phone. She's like, why didn't you respond to my emails? And he's like, who the hell is this? She's like, oh, it's me, Carrie. I was just wondering if you got the email I sent you, my email address is Shugal. That's my email address. And he's like, oh yeah, I deleted it. I always do that to junk mail if I don't know the return address, And she's like, oh yeah, well, yeah, I guess I understand. I've only got 2 emails in my life. I got one from Miranda, the other one was from AOL. It was a welcome to AOL email. And he's like, okay, well, what did the email say? She's like, well, it said welcome to AOL. He's like, no, I'm talking about the email that you sent me. She's like, oh, that. She's like, well, I just wanted to know if, maybe you and me and Steve and Miranda could hang out sometime. I was hoping that we could hang out, And Aiden's like, okay, yeah, sounds good. Sure. We'll do it. So now fucking Carrie's going crazy, right? So meanwhile, Miranda and her marathon man, that's what we're calling the guy that Miranda met training for the marathon, because we don't know his name. We will never learn his fucking name in this episode, okay? So his nickname is Marathon Man, okay? So, of course, they finish practicing together, all sweaty, wearing their sweats, and they decide to fuck while they're that way, okay? Hey, to each his own, that's what they want to do, but he does something kind of weird here, okay? He fucking eats out her asshole! Yeah! He sticks his tongue in the holiest of holies. Yeah. And I can't tell if Miranda is confused or excited. Okay. I think a little bit of both, honestly. Okay. So she's like, whoa. Yeah. So yeah, he eats out her asshole. Yeah. That actually happens here. Okay. Yeah. That's the plot. So, of course, what does she do? She talks about it at lunch, okay? Now, here's the weird thing, okay? Just before I talk about this scene, I want you to know something, okay? All the girls having lunch, they're all eating salads, okay? They're all eating tossed salads, okay, while this conversation is happening, okay? You think that was on purpose? I think so, okay? So, they're all having lunch, okay? Miranda, she tells Carrie she does not want to go out with Steve. Okay, she doesn't like the fact that Carrie volunteered her to go out with her and Aiden and Steve. She doesn't want to see Steve anymore because Steve's her ex-boyfriend. Okay, and Carrie's like, no, you'll be my airbag for me, and Steve will be Aiden's airbag. Where the fucking airbag is, okay? And Miranda's like, well, does Steve know that I'm already dating other people? Like, I'm dating Marathon Man now. Okay, and she says, and the sex is really good because she's all stuffing her face, and then he licked my butt. How can you eat while having this conversation? I guess. Well, how can you not? Okay, no, personally, it's disgusting. I think it's gross. All right, Carrie's like, are we talking about Turkish lingus? She's like, yeah. While she eats her tossed salad, she says, yeah, Turkish lingus. And Carrie's like, I've never had it. And Charlotte says, like, the most conservative one of the group, she says, well, Trey likes to do it. What? Oh, I don't need to hear that shit, man. Come on. Literally, I don't need to hear it. Carrie's like, well, how did that become a thing? Now, how the hell did the ass end up on the menu? Well, I got the answer for that. 2 words. J-Lo. That's it. So Miranda's like, well, I know what happened. Some guy out there did it to his girl, and she liked it, so he told everybody about it. 2 words. J low. Okay. Okay. Samantha says, like, don't knock it until you've tried it. And Miranda is like, am I out of the ass loop? Maybe I shouldn't have pushed away so fast. Maybe this is my last chance. I can't bring myself to ask for it. Samantha is like, oh, you don't have to ask for it. He'll know when to do it. Just lead him into it. Miranda's like, but does that mean I have to reciprocate? Miranda's like, fuck no! I would never, ever, ever do it back to them. That's gross. And Charlotte's like, you wouldn't? God damn it, Charlotte. You know, last video, the last review I did, I said how Charlotte is the one I'm most attracted to. Might have to rethink that. All right. I guess they go back to eating their salads. Okay, later on, Charlotte cooks dinner for that girl Trish that she saw at the store, the one who's married with 3 kids, the one who's can't believe she's 34, she's got 3 kids. So her and her husband are there, and her 3 kids are there. Okay, they're all having dinner at Trey and Charlotte's apartment. All right, so they're sitting there. I guess the husband, his name is Cliff, and the wife, her name is Trisha. Okay, so they're sitting there, and Trisha and fucking Cliff are being very passive aggressive. Okay, you know, they're clearly not happy. Okay, their kid, they have a 5-year-old there. I think he's 5 years. He looks about the same age as my son. You know, so I'm guessing he's 5 years old. You know, his name is Martin, and he starts acting up, and he starts crying. You know, he's like, I want to sit by the woman. You know, he starts crying and acting up. You know, and Trish looks at her son and goes like, okay, Martin, that's 1. And Trey looks at Cliff and goes like, how many does he get? And he's like, 45. So he starts crying, you know, and Cliff and Trisha start yelling at each other, basically, you know, about how, oh yeah, Trisha, look at that. Charlotte actually cooked, you know, she actually cooks food in her home, you know, and Trisha's like, hey, you know what? Well, Charlotte doesn't have 3 kids to take care of, you know, that kind of passive aggressive bullshit, you know, and they start fighting, and it turns out one of his, he's got 2 boys and he's got a girl there. And the other boy, not Martin, the other boy, I guess he's got asthma or something, you know. And so so Cliff looks at Trey and goes like, yeah, you know what that means? That means he's never going to play sports, you know. And then he decides to fucking show off his fucking ruby slippers. Yes, because even back in 2001, okay, we had trans kids back then, okay. This little boy, not only is he asthmatic, he's fucking trans too. He's wearing some goddamn Wizard of Oz ruby fucking red fucking slippers. Yeah, that's called parenting, I guess. That's not what I call it. Anyway, so like I said, they start fighting, okay, and Cliff mentions that his son will never play. I already said that, okay. Charlotte and Trey decide that night, because of what happened to that dinner, they decide they're not going to have sex, and they actually don't have sex for a few days, okay? They don't even touch each other. Okay, they don't talk about it, but they pretty much decided they're not going to want to have a kid based on what they just saw, okay? And I can't really blame them, you know, I understand, you know, and I'm a father, and even I understand this, all right? So anyway, Carrie keeps talking on a dinner date with Miranda. She keeps talking about the story. She's there, Miranda's sitting there, then Aiden and Steve are sitting across from her, and she's telling some stupid story about a bug that she saw, and she's talking really fast like I am right now, and she's fucking, you know, laughing about it, whatever, and at the end of her sentence, Aiden puts his hand on top of hers, so she thinks that maybe he's trying to reconnect with her, you know, And then the men decide to go to the bathrooms. Now, the only thing that made it cool about this scene is the men's acknowledge that that's something that women do. Women go to the bathroom together all the time so they can talk about the men, okay? But in this case, Steve and Aiden decide to go to the bathroom together, and at least fucking, Aiden calls it out. Like, I know this is something that women do. They always go to the bathroom together, but I actually got to go piss, and Steve actually does have to go piss, so they go to the bathroom together, and that leaves Carrie alone with Miranda, okay? And so Miranda says, like, oh my God, Aiden just touched my hand. Okay, I don't need you anymore. You can go. You can go now. Oh, and take Steve with you. So Miranda's just like, okay, okay. I don't believe him. She's got to stuff her fat ass. All that running's not going to help her. All right. So that's going on here. Carrie's like, I want to get back together. I want us to get back together. And because she's a bitch. Like I said, she's not considering his feelings. She's only considering her own. Okay. So anyway, so they walk. She walks Aiden home back to his brownstone. Yeah. She walks him home. You see the reverse in dynamic here? Okay. And then he tells her, hey, I had a great night. And then she fucking says, I want us to get back together. And he's like, oh, fuck. I was afraid you were going to say this. He's like, hey, I'm cool with, doing the friendship thing. I was cool with that, but I can't really do the relationship thing with you anymore, And Carrie's like, but you put your hand on my hand. You did it. He's like, oh, well, I just did that because you sounded really nervous. I was just trying to make you feel comfortable. You were telling that story about the bug, and I was just, you sounded really nervous. I was just trying to make you comfortable. So now she's all fucking like, ah, shit, whatever. So she's like, okay, good night. She's about to leave, and he kisses her on the cheek. He kisses her on the cheek, so now Carrie's confused. Maybe he does want her, maybe he doesn't want her. She doesn't really know now. Okay, so anyway. Meanwhile, Miranda calls Carrie and tells her that Steve tried to make out with her after they left the bar, and she does not want to get back with Steve, So he said, where were you? You're supposed to be my airbag. Where was my airbag tonight, She says, like, oh, but Marathon Man's coming over, So that's going on with her. So I guess he's going to come back and eat her asshole out some more, okay? She tells her, well, Aiden kissed me on the cheek. What does that mean? Okay. And meanwhile, while she's talking to Miranda, Aiden sends Carrie an email. She freaks out like, oh my God, I just got an email from Aiden. And she fucking jumps underneath the fucking desk in her own fucking apartment. Does that mean he can see me now? Yes. 2001, email was a new thing back then. Okay. Yeah. She actually thought that maybe that email could see her, and Miranda's like, no, he can't see you, just respond to it. That's all you gotta do is respond to it, okay? So Carrie says, like he'll say, no. If I respond to his email, he's just gonna say he doesn't want to get back with me, even though I know that he does. His lips say no, but his kiss said yes. And Miranda says, like, oh, well, you just fucking basically gave me the fucking date rape defense, okay? The typical standard date rape defense. Okay, she's like, so she puts on her coat and she says, fuck this, I'm going out there. Okay, so she goes out there, she goes back to Aiden's place. Okay, and obviously he's upstairs in his apartment, so she starts throwing stones at his fucking window trying to get him to wake up, and he wakes up. And she does mention that, when a guy does that, when he throws stones at a girl's window, it's romantic, but when a girl does it, okay, it makes her look like she's a fucking psycho. And you know what? She's right. Okay, so that happens here. So he comes downstairs, and he's like, "What? When you came back?" She's like, "Oh yes." She's like, I feel certain that there's something between us, Aiden." He's standing on top of the stairs. She's at the bottom of the stairs. She goes like, "I feel certain that there is something between us, Aiden." He's like, "Hey, look, I had a good time. I really did. All right. I just want to leave it at that." That's what he tells her. I mean, come on, she fucked him over. All right. And she's like, well, can I come upstairs and talk? Can we talk about it? And right now she's acting like Big. This is the kind of shit Big did after Carrie dumped him. Trying to convince her to let him come back upstairs to her place. And fuck, now she's doing it. Now she's the one acting like Big. Okay, doing it to Aiden. Can I come up? Can we talk about this? And Aiden's like, no, I don't want to talk to you. Okay? And Carrie's like, look, I know you're scared. But things are different now. Circumstances are different now. I'm different now. Look, these cigarettes, fuck the cigarettes. Cigarettes are gone. I miss you. I always think about you holding me. And Aiden's like, you know what? You broke my fucking heart! And she fucking runs away. Like, she can't handle the truth. She can't handle the truth. So she fucking runs away like a coward. Like a coward that she is, okay? Yes, I don't have very little sympathy for Carrie right now, okay? She's not, if she was thinking about his feelings at all while trying to reconnect with him, I could have more sympathy for her, but she's not. All she's concerned about is what she wants to get out of this interaction here. She just wants to get him back. That's all she cares about. She doesn't care about his feelings. She doesn't care about how she treated him. She doesn't care about all the shit that she did, all the lying, all the backstabbing, all the manipulation that she's still doing, okay? She doesn't care about any of that stuff. All she cares about is getting Aiden back, okay? Back in the palm of her hand where she can fucking control him and manipulate him again. Okay, and since he's not willing to go along with that, it's making her feel insecure. It's making her feel frustrated. It's making her feel impatient. Okay, she doesn't give a shit about what he wants. All she cares about is what she wants. And he basically tells her, you fucked me over. She can't handle the truth. You know why? Because that's the one thing that she knew in the back of her mind, but she didn't want to go there. She didn't want to dwell on that. She just wanted to dwell on the possibility that Aiden would take her back. Okay, that's all she wanted to think about. Yeah, kind of fucked up, right? Okay, meanwhile, Samantha is having sex with that guy, Warren, again. You know, the one who likes to talk like a baby, you know, and she's on top of him. She says, you're a great fuck. He tries to talk like a baby again while she's riding him. She's like, you know, you're a great fuck, but you don't need to talk that baby talk, all right? So he gets all pissed off. He goes in the bathroom, and she got to follow him. He closes the door on her. So she's not like, hey, you want to come out again? She's like, okay, fine. You can talk to me like that if you want, you know. Basically talking to him like a little fucking kid. Okay, so he's mad. He comes out of the bathroom. He's like, I'm leaving. And he goes over. He starts putting his clothes back on. He grabs his cell phone and snaps it in front of her face, you know. And he's starting to walk away, you know. And then Samantha realizes that, you know, she wore nipples and she attracted a baby. She wore those fake nipples and she attracted a baby. Okay, meanwhile, the baby rattle arrived in the mail for Charlotte. She got a baby rattle in the mail. I guess it's one that Trey sent her. But they haven't talked about the fact that they haven't had sex in the past 3 days because they invited that couple over, Trish and Clifford, and they did not like what they saw, the way they were acting with their kids. So now they're afraid to have kids. Okay, so they finally decided to talk about it. Trey admits he's not really that crazy about having a baby, but he'll do it if that's what she wants. And she says that's what she wants. So they decide to fuck some more. Okay, of course they do. Okay. Meanwhile, Miranda gets her ass eaten out again. And of course, she's into it. And she offers to reciprocate. She offers him, Marathon Man, she offers him a massage. So she starts working his shoulders and working her way down to his lower back. And then his ass is right there. His bare ass is shaking around, you know, right in front of her. He's just shaking his ass. His naked fucking bare ass is right there. And she's trying not to look at it, but it's right there. The fucking brown eye is staring her right in the fucking eye as well. Okay. And so finally she cannot handle that ass moving around like that. So she fucking says like, I don't want to do that. And then he looks over his shoulder and goes like, well, you know, then why were you talking to my ass that way? Don't talk to the hand, talk to the ass. All right. So that's going on here. Aiden shows up at her place, at Carrie's place, all right? She's thinking about him, and magically, boom, he shows up just like magic, you know? And he still wants Carrie. You know why? Because he's a fucking idiot. So they end up having sex, and it's kissing. It's very romantic. And the next day, you know, we get to see that he still got the gut, all right? But Carrie's wearing her clothes even though they had sex. You know, obviously, Sarah Jessica Parker has a clause in her contract. She does not do nudity on the show, even though it's about sex and she's the main character, all right? So yeah, he's getting up. He's putting his clothes back on. You know, and he's basically telling her, you know, after sex, he's telling me, he says, are you trying to make up for the past? Are you trying to make up for what you did to me? He's like, because if you are, it's okay. I already forgave you. You're okay, all right? I already spent a long time, you know, beating you up all over the streets of New York in my mind, all right? So we're okay now, you know? So you don't have to worry about trying to, you know, make up for what you did, you know? Because he's a nice guy, which means, unfortunately, he's an idiot. Okay, he's gonna go with his feelings to the contrary of what he knows for a fact she's done, of what she's done in the past. Like I said, the best predictor of what a person's gonna do is their past behavior. Look at what they've done in the past, okay? Because that's what they're capable of. All right. You got to remember that, okay? But most people don't. He's got the butterflies again because Carrie's back in his life, so of course he's gonna be like an idiot, okay? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, okay? Whatever happens next is gonna be your fault, Aiden. No matter what you fucking do, it's gonna be your fault, okay? Because you knew what she was like already, and you fucking took her back anyway, okay? That's on you. That's not all on her, all right? You know, yeah, she could be a lying bitch, you know, a lying slut, okay? But you already knew that this time. You didn't know last time, that wasn't your fault. You know it this time, okay? So you can't really blame anyone, all right? So that's going on. Meanwhile, what do you call it? Aiden tells Carrie that he'll think about it. She says, I still love you. You know, I still love you and I want to be your girlfriend again. She tells that to him straight out, you know? And he's like, I'll think about it. I need some time to think about it. And he walks away. All right. Meanwhile, Miranda's training with fucking Marathon Man, Mr. Ass again. And this time she decides she's not going to fucking run with him again. She's going to run away from him. Okay. Because she doesn't like the way that he fucking snapped at her. Okay. She didn't like the way that he was being an asshole, literally and figuratively. Okay. I don't think he was. You know, I think he was kind of rude to her, you know, but God damn it, we're talking about eating out assholes, okay? I think you took manners out the fucking window once you started talking about eating assholes, okay? I think it's fucking gross. I think it's fucking disgusting. I can't believe when women do that stuff. I don't even believe when guys do that stuff. I think it's fucking gross, you know? I think having sex in that area is fucking gross. You know, I think that, you know, who wants to get shit on your dick, on your fucking dick? Who wants that? Nobody wants that, okay? It's gross and it's disgusting, all right? And I don't like it and I don't recommend it and I don't approve of it, okay? But yeah, I've done it. I've done it. With a girl, of course, okay? Yeah, you fucking sickos out there. No, yeah, I've done it with a girl, okay? That's because she wanted it. She wanted it. And she liked it. Me, not so much, but yeah, I've done it. Yeah. Come on, man. Come on. Anyway, it ain't about me though. Okay, so Aiden, I guess Aiden shows up at her place the next day. Okay, and he shows up and he says, "Okay, Carrie." He looks up at her. Okay, let's give it another shot. He's got his dog with him. She's like, "Oh, you want to come up?" He's like, "No, I'm gonna take Pete for a walk, but you can come for a walk with us." She's like, okay, I'll be right down. So now she's happy, okay? Because Aiden decided to forgive her and take her back, okay? You know why he did that? Because he's a fucking idiot. I love Aiden to death. I think he's a nice guy. He's a sweet guy. Carrie does not deserve a guy like this, okay? But unfortunately, you've got sucker written all over you, Aiden. You got sucker written all over you. You learned nothing from what you did last time. You learned nothing from the mistakes that you made in the past, okay? You're taking this girl at her word. You're not paying attention to what she's doing. You're not paying attention to the fact that she doesn't care about your feelings. All you're doing is basically believing everything that she fucking tells you and going with that, okay? That's not the way, okay? If this was me, first of all, it wouldn't be me, okay? I would never get back with a girl that fucking cheated on me. I would never do that, okay? Now, does that mean that I have done it before? Of course I have. I've taken girls back that cheated on me, but let me just say this, okay? They regret cheating on me now, all right? I'll just say that, okay? Let me tell you something, all right? And I'm not a perfect human being. I've made mistakes too, okay? And like I said, I was younger back then. But let me tell you something. If a girl fucked me over and then she apologizes like Carrie does and wants to get back with me, do not be fucking surprised if I'm the one that fucks you over this time, okay? Do not be surprised if that happens, okay? All right, because you already opened the floodgates in that one, all right? Okay, so no. Don't be surprised when it fucking happens to you if you're the person that does it, okay? Don't give me any of this fucking rationalization and shit, okay? Okay, I can give you the same fucking words that you fed me, okay? You know, so no, okay? Yeah, my best advice is, dude, if you've been cheated on, do not take her back. Do not take her back, okay? Because she will fucking do it again. She will, okay? And Carrie will do it again. I can tell because she's not interested in his feelings. She doesn't feel bad about what he was going through or what she put him through. She only feels bad of what he's not giving her. And she's not going to feel good until he gives her what she wants, okay? It's all about her. It's all about her own selfish feelings, okay? Not about her behavior or what she's done, okay? And the fact that Aiden didn't even try to fucking give her an opportunity to win back his fucking trust and his respect. He just gave it to her like it was nothing, okay? Okay, all his morals, all his fucking, his sixth sense maybe you could say, his subconscious that warned him about her, okay, that fucking disappeared like a fucking virgin on prom night. He fucking saw Carrie again and he wants her back again. Okay, just like fucking that. He probably spent 30 minutes thinking about it and then he decided he was going to take her back. That's not the way to fucking get back together. That's not how you rebuild trust. Okay, you got to earn trust. Okay, the first time you might give it away. The second time you're going to have to earn it. Okay, and Carrie did nothing to earn it. Okay, nothing at all, but he took her back anyway. That's on him. Okay, I'm going to blame him on that one, not Carrie. Okay, all right, so that ends this review for this episode of Sex and the City. Thank you for watching this long, and I will see you on the next one.